tiebreaker no matter what the result is. We will see the play as per Jukebox's request. But we are currently loading in to the Mastermind sets right now, and I'm kind of excited to see what happens, especially considering we will have. Wait a minute, Misery's coming first. God, here, but with Misery killing first, we will end up seeing Numinous on the Mastermind of Resident Demon. While he will have a little bit of that help from his team of Misery, we will be seeing some possibly really cracked plays. But let's not waste any more time. We are now in the game. Let's get it started. Please tell me this is gonna load up. I hate it here. Okay. Well, you can't see it right now because OBS hates me, but 1 second. Right now, we will have our Mastermind, and you'll see the silent casting as there is nothing but a black screen because OBS is nice. But we will have our Mastermind often just break the 2 main doors, and also Virus kind of just stealthing around, doing a really good job with it. We will end up seeing.
Is that all you have?
Our Mastermind committing to this chase with Ace, and there is the screen capture. Thank God, but. We'll be taking this chase, and that will be Cookie on I believe the island ping, and that will not find the connection as Numi will end up going for that swing and the miss. But that will be the down onto Cookie as he will be taking that window vault. However, we do notice that there is a survivor working on main building. That will be Kazoo actually taking this tag, and I'm assuming this will end up being just a tag and not really any follow-up, as we will be picking up Cookie. And I think basement is in main building, so we could possibly see a basement hook here, or we are gonna see the Incepted Scourge hook coming in to make sure that whatever progress we can knock down from 25% will be amazing. That will Cookie will be taking that hook, and looks like we'll be taking this chase on the tour on this arena. Oh, and I didn't even notice that Numi is running Chalice. It's opting to run Chalice instead of that Tendrils, instead of the gloves. He will be opting to run Chalice, which will extend the amount of time he actually can just throw. Or I can say his lunging distance, if you can call it that. But his lunging distance. To make sure that we can actually secure some downs, even if it means just throwing them at the edge of the map. It looks like we will also see a little bit more of a conventional build from Numi, and that will be the tag on the Cookie. Numi doing a really good job in just keeping this pressure on the side of the future, and Cookie will be fully infected, so he will end up eating that hindrance. I believe that's going to be 8%, and that will be the down once again. Cookie now being pushed onto the second hook, or second phase, which means he will be tunnelable, killable, submissive, and breedable after he does get unhooked. But we will be taking a chase with Jinxie, who will be taking a slide to cover some distance across the T and L, and will be able to dodge the bounds by just running out in the middle of nowhere. But did it work? It did work all right. But now we will have Jinxie dropping that Shack Pallet, and that will be Shack Pallet down and broken. And are we gonna see Numi opt to camp out Cookie and try to see if we can just secure this kill and secure a 3-for-1 at 5 gens remaining. That is not good. That is not it, babes. I don't know what to tell you. It looks like we will end up seeing that 3-for-1 Cookie's death for not even a gen being completed. This is a very unfortunate turn of events for the side of Dead Future, as Numi will be securing this kill. And right now, Dead Future would have to have the most miraculous comeback to even see as much as getting out, let alone completing all the gens. And right now, that will be the tag on the Jinxie, who will be trying to run this Dairy Kutan. Those will be 2 gens simultaneously popping off in the distance, but that will also be the down onto Jinxie. Looks like we may end up seeing a use of that Pain Resonance, as I do believe Jinxie wasn't hooked on Pain Resonance. Maybe I'm crazy, though. Yeah, nope. Jinxie is indeed fresh, and that will be the 3rd token of Pain Resonance being used at this moment. However, we also noticed that a lot of gen progress is going to be on that main building, and I don't think Numi will be opting to check the building yet, as we have also everything injured. And we actually do hear our Zarina, who I believe will be Tor, on that main building gen. I don't think that Tor has balance, so this decision is a little bit risky, especially considering that will end up being the down with no speed boost and Tor not being able to make the resources needed. And while Kazoo will be trying to will end up trying to play that tile and actually tries to make sure that either we can force the bound to not connect or force the fatigue. If not, force Numi to miss, we will end up eating that Chalice bound and getting slammed across the tree. But that will be a less use of Pain Resonance. That is one good thing about this trial, is that is the last usage of Pain Resonance, which means any further progress made on these generators can no longer be knocked down by that 25%. Oh!
You disappoint me. Is that the best you've got?
Oh. That looked a little weird, didn't it? And it looks like we will be fighting the last 2 survivors at the Killer Shack, and that will end up being chased the down and the hook onto Jinxie. And I believe Kazoo being the last person alive will end up having the scratch marks being found, and this may end up securing that 4K at 3 generators remaining. Right now, we will try to see if it can. Oh! Oh! Oh!
You will not.
Damn! Okay! And that will be a really, really slick down onto Tor at the very end. And as of right now, that will be Kazoo being put on this hook, and I believe Kazoo will be dead. No, this is Kazoo's second stage, which means we do have a little bit of time to find Jinxie, especially considering Kazoo will have to give up on hook before, so that way Jinxie can hopefully get Hatch at Killer Shack. And with No Way Out being in play, it is very possible that we could see Jinxie getting out from this trial. But no, I'm curious. And right now we will be closing the hatch and actually trying to figure out where Jinxie is. And I think we're gonna be in the right direction as Jinxie is kind of just looming between both doors, and those will be a scratch marks, and that will be Jinxie being found, which will be securing this 4K at 3 generators remaining, which does put up a really tough win con for the side of Dead Future with that 4K at 4 gens remaining.
Playtime is over.
Oh, what am I witnessing? Okay, and Jinxie will end up tasting what looked a little funky to me, but whatever happens, happens. And by the way, that is a very strong usage of no-ed. Just so you know. Very strong usage of no-ed. But we will be back with Dead Future on the Wesker after a little break. All right, friends, and oh my god, the music is loud to me. What the hell is it? All right, friends. So here's the deal, right? We're gonna be coming in with set 2 of the Mastermind, and by my surprise, it's going to be Slaughter on the Wesker. I've never seen Slaughter play Wesker, so I'm ready to see how he does. It might be a little fat, but I'm here for it. I'm here to see some Wesker play, and we're gonna get some Wesker play. So that being said, we load into the game, and it will be once again Slaughter on the Wesker with a win condition of a 4K at 4 generators remaining. I mean, now we will have some survivors already being spotted, and scratch marks over by this TNL, but are we gonna spot whoever was here? Maybe, maybe not. Also, my audio, my funny audio is failing me, but we'll be spotting Ducky immediately and not go. Oh, that NA West to NA East hits different, but that will be the tag onto Ducky, and I'm pretty sure Ducky was definitely not expecting that to happen. But that will be the firecracker blind after the window vault, and it will buy Ducky a little bit of time, as Slaughter did lose LOS of Ducky for just a little bit, and but I will have Slaughter opting to just continue this chase with Ducky into the corrupt zone and to possibly active gens, but instead we will have Ducky opting to hug this Dairy Queen tile? Dixie Queen tile? And right now that will end up being the bound attempt, but not being able to find the connection onto Ducky. As Ducky now will be taking this eye palette and just trying to run it against Slaughter, but Slaughter not quite being able to find the connection yet. That will be Jukebox getting grabbed and thrown against the rock. We'll be taking that devastating and possibly committing Jukebox at this eye tile, and that will not find the connection. That NA West and NA East is not hitting different just yet, but ooh, Slaughter trying his hardest to try to get it down right now, but the Side of Misery is kind of just taking turns and taking body blocks as need be, and those will be 2 gens popping, which will be securing that tight condition, but that will also be a down onto Jukebox. And with this Pain Resonance being in play, we could see our possibly 3rd gen that could be getting worked on right now getting knocked down by that 25%. Looks like we don't have any survivors on gens right now, and that will be two survivors who were trying to reset being spotted. However, instead of going for Ducky, we are going to end up taking a short chase on the Cheese, but instead we'll end up leaving to get the tunnel onto Abby, and a little bit of Skywesker action will not quite find the results that Slaughter would definitely need at this moment, but that was a really, really nice display of how to Skywesker. Right now, we will be trying to see if we can find our next target. We'll end up hearing an injured Ducky running around main building, and seeing maybe we can take this chase with him and try to secure this down, either him or Jukebox or people that he needs to find at this moment. But not being able to connect these bounds to anybody, we will end up finding this and one under Ducky, and that will be the down and possibly another usage of that Pain Res, and we will end up spotting Jukebox, who did just spray as Slaughter was choosing to just run to where this spray was happening. Now we will have Slaughter actually opting to try to zone Jukebox away from the rock, which will end up giving Jukebox this 4-lane tile, and Slaughter actually choosing this slug Ducky here to go for Jukebox and possibly secure the 2nd stage. Right now, Jukebox is serving up a little bit of that juice at the DQ tile and will not be going, or will not be receiving that demonstrate just yet. And a swing through the pallet like a madman will get will at least get the injury onto Jukebox and possibly the down, but not yet, as Jukebox will be doing a little bit of that pub juicing and will end up dodging Slaughter's bound. But that will be the second stage being forced on Jukebox, but cannot use Pain Resonance once again due to that rework. So now we're probably gonna have our third gen popping off in probably the next 20 seconds. Methinks. And with that third gen popping off, that will be the win for Misery for this set. However, Slaughter we will see. Words are hard. We will still see this set being played out to the fullest to make sure that we could possibly still get a good result. You know, a 4K all, 4K one, possibly. As we'll be opting to chase Jukebox and Slaughter going for a little bit of that nurse-esque mind games of trying to flick to see if maybe we can find the connection. Like I said, we will see that for the people play happening in Slaughter's face. But no, Breakable being banned, that will be the hook on to Cheese. Yeah, on to Cheese. And that will be the second hook, second token of No Way Out, and also the second use of that Pain Resonance, which will be knocking, I believe, main building gen, or probably that mid gen, down by 25%. And I don't think that Slaughter had. Oh, actually, no, Slaughter still kind of has a 3-gen attack. That I think about it, that is actually kind of promising. But we'll be taking the chase with a Ducky, who will be showing himself. Ducky playing the really aggressive game right now to make sure he can buy as much time as possible. But we'll end up receiving that tag. And it looks like we will be committing on to Ducky as we will be continuing to run this main building. Slaughter losing track of Ducky for just a second, will not be able to commit to this chase any further, and that will be the Skywesker into the bound on Jukebox, who will be our prime sellout for this match. However, that bounce landing will end up coming into play, and it looks like Juke will be able to buy enough distance to make it around this tile, and Slaughter, being able to read Juke's pathing, will end up finding the down and the death onto Jukebox, securing this 3v1 at 1 gen remaining. Right now, we will be opting to dry kick that hill gen and make sure that it does continue to aggress a little bit. And Abby's trying to go for the cack tech, but will not be able to do it successfully, as we will have Abby receiving that tag instead of vaulting back into Slaughter's face. It looks like that will be the vault into Slaughter's face, but the bound not connecting, as Abby will be doing a little bit of that hold W. With the gen almost being done, it looks like Slaughter is going to be under a lot of pressure to make sure that not only that gen gets done, but also maybe we can secure another use of that Pain Resonance that we can only get from, unironically, Cheese or Abby. And one thing, no two, Cheese is an AW. So Cheese will definitely not be tasting the same way that all of his teammates have been tasting so far. But that will be a nice bound on to Cheese, as we will be committing onto his main building. While we do have that one gen on the hill that is almost done, we do have that gen or generator on the bottom side that is actually really, that could be really close to popping, and that will be the popping and the adrenaline play coming in on Cheese. Really good coordination and heavy. Cheese actually take this last chase at main building, make sure we can get that adrenaline value. We'll be committing to Cheese at the moment, and it looks like we'll see that drop at the pallet. making Slaughter have to not only respect the pallet, but have to break it as well, which will buy Cheese a good amount of distance and make sure that we can keep making this loop. And holy shit, that was a hit from Slaughter. With Cheese doing a little bit of AD action with a little bit of actually not AD, isn't Cheese on controller? We see Cheese doing that left right movement, and we'll be able to dodge the bound into the locker grab to make sure that Slaughter cannot slug for this. It looks like we will end up seeing the 2-out happening, which will secure a 2K6 stage for the side of Dead Future. And when we come back, we will be playing with Dead Future on the Hillbilly. Now, I'm wondering who's going to be playing that one for Dead Future, but we will see what happens after a little break. All right, we are loading into. Actually, I don't know if there's like a play out tiebreaker, but what could maybe be the final trial coming into this Hillbilly set where we will have Jinxie for Dead Future, a very, very good Billy player playing the Hillbilly on Wrecker's Yard. Actually, no, I said final trial. We haven't even played Billy yet. Who am I lying to? We're coming into the third trial of this match, and with Jinxie on the Hillbilly. We are loading in right now, and by looks of it, we will end up having our survivors. That's flying towards that top side like always, and Meg immediately being spotted. Jinxie will automatically be on the prowl, as we did end up spotting our Meg immediately. And we'll see another pair of scratch marks actually running towards the active gens, but with that, we won't know the whereabouts of not just Cheese, but also Abby. How funny. But you also know, oh, where Jukebox is as well. You know where 3 of our survivors are. It looks like we'll be committing this chase onto Jukebox, as Jukebox will be opting to run into Killer Shack, which will make Juicy want to leave this chase. And right now, we will be spotting Abby, who will be taking this chase back into the corrupt zone, assumably. And that will be an attempted mind game. We'll end up finding the connection from Juicy, but you know, it will just be an M1. And Jinxie kind of running a more conventional Hillbilly build with that no-ed, Pain Res, Bamboozle, and Corrupt Intervention with the low pro chains. And Jinxie will be trying to get that low pro chains value, but will not quite find anything outside of just breaking that pallet. It looks like we will have Abby opting to kind of... Ooh, we're having Abby kind of greet this pallet a little bit with that lucky break, so her scratch marks and pools of blood will be concealed. But that will be the M1 with Jinxie pulling off some really, really good mind games out of Abby. Like, we'll be opting to secure this first use of that pain resonance, as we will be hooking Abby deep, and I mean deep, into one of the pockets in that. Looks like we did end up actually being able to catch a gen that was very, very close to being done, and it's rough about 99% right now. However, if that gen got hit by pain res, that means there had to be someone else there. And I'm suspecting that that gen will be popping really soon, and that, no, that was a different gen that just popped. But we will see 2 gens popping off for possibly this camp, and there it is. That will be the next gen popping, and that, oh. That was not the gen that got pain res, so we are going to see a 3rd gen popping off for this camp, so Jinxie will be opting to secure this 2nd stage onto Abby before actually committing to any other chases. And blessed be the overheat chains, as Jinxie can just rev this chainsaw for the entirety of this stage. And that will be 2nd stage being secured, and this will end up having Jinxie go check his other generators and make sure that there is no significant progress on any of his 3 gen right now. But we will end up spotting Cheese, who was working on this gen next to the car pile. Even though Cheese will be running towards that Killer Shack, we'll have Jinxie opting to see if we can cut any survivors off from going for the save and possibly just end up securing the death onto Abby, because at this point, what else can you really do about it? Jinxie does also have a pretty good 3 gen. We did actually spot the Jake with Ducky being able to just run past for this save onto Abby. It looks like we will have Abby trying her hardest to be able to secure this down and the death onto Abby, but with the rev of the chainsaw, Jinxie might be able to make this, and that will be the M1 down onto Abby. But we have to be wary of this pallet, as Abby was greeting it extra hard, and it will be Ducky being spotted. And that will be the down onto Ducky as well, having 2 survivors on the floor. It looks like we will have to pick up Ducky first to scare that pain resonance. Make sure we can pop a gen that they are more than likely working on a 3 gen, especially on the gen next to the car pile. But with DS being banned, we are going to be looking around to see if maybe we can find out who this other if this other survivor is here. Looks like with reassurance that there are no survivors, we will be picking up Abby, and that will be the car gen being popped. But Jinxie does have a good amount of pressure, as we have not only 1 survivor dead, but another survivor on this subclip means only 2 survivors can be doing anything at this point in time. Looks like we will have Jinxie just like that chainsaw, try to see if what he should do, and maybe if he should opt to camp out Ducky, or possibly secure this last down. And we will be spotting Jukebox as a little bit of that game sense will be coming in and making, and Jinxie will be spotting Jukebox on the tires, but will end up eating that pallet stun to the face. Looks like we'll be seeing that second stage game secured onto Ducky. Another tunnel out waiting to happen. Looks like we will be trying to secure this late game 2v1 to make sure that anything else that comes after it will be a hit from that no-hit. And actually, where are the gates looking like? I think there might be a gate at 7 as well, and if there's also a gate at 7, it's gonna be pretty hard for the side of Misery to do anything about this, especially considering no-hit will be in play. Look, we have Juicy opting to leave Ducky right now, and that will be Cheese getting spotted. And with Jinxie with that no-hit, we may be able to see it down really quickly. Might be able to secure a 3K9, and that will be the down onto Ducky, or that will be down onto Cheese and Ducky being saved from that hook. But with the adrenaline play, we will see Ducky being returned to full health, and we did see some scratch marks actually running toward that no-hit totem. But I'm wondering if Jinxie did pick up on that, and if we are going to interrupt the no-hit from popping. Oh, and the head-on play coming in will make sure that Juke will be able to buy some distance. She's trying to go for a crouch tech, but will not quite make it work, as we will end up finding the low pro hit on to Jukebox. However, 2 stars being injured, the no-hit is still up. Which means, if anything else, we do have that speed boost for this late game mix that we can secure any M1s as needed. But we will have Jinxie opting to run towards the gate, where we will end up spotting Jukebox. Again, we might end up going for a low pro hit. And we do find the connection. A really good job from Jinxie. Holy. But we will be securing this hook onto Jukebox, which will secure a 2K8 stage once both survivors end up leaving the door. Yep, and there it is. But we will be back with Misery on the killer. And we'll see who'll be playing Billy for Misery. I think it might be Ducky. But we will see what happens after a little break. All right, friends, and this may or may not be the last trial this time. I'm serious. I'm dead serious. This might be the last trial, as we will be having Numinous from Misery on the Hillbilly. Once again, probably going to be clip farming, as you know what, as Numi does. But with a win condition of a 2K9 stage, which I do believe would have to be 2 people dead, 1 person 2 hooked, and 1 person 1 hooked. Like, that win condition is a duel. It is. And we'll see if Numi will be able to beat that. But we're loading into this trial right now, and we will be seeing Numinous revving up that fat old chainsaw and just running it straight to the top side. We will actually have someone spotted already. That's actually kind of surprising. We will be spotting Kazoo at this tower, who will be pre-dropping this pallet to make sure that we can buy some extra distance. And holy, Numi already coming in with the heat, securing one of the earliest down I've ever seen for a Hillbilly. And that will look like to be a pain resonance hook. And we did see which end actually did get pain res, as we saw the explosion coming in. And we'll be trying to see if we can find which survivor it was. And that will be Jinxie on the Claudette, who will be opting to move into the tower, and Numinous opting to just kind of just set up this tent and camp out the survivor, make sure that we do hit that second stage, if not secure the death onto Kazoo. And now we'll have Jinxie not being able to work this gen safely. We'll have to just kind of run away and make sure that we don't give Numi another free down. And we do hear some gen progress going off in the background. Now I'm curious to see how much this actually could be. And right now we'll have Slaughter. We got a gen that's about 50%. We do have Jinxie and Tor working on another gen, with Slaughter and Tor being the closest gens to completion, and they're only about 60-70%. We got Numi opting to leave this hook to make sure that maybe we can secure some extra pressure. And not even just completed yet, and we have a survivor which is kind of ready to die at this point. And we do hear the 18-wheeler gen going off. I'm not sure if Numi heard that, because I'm surprised we didn't interrupt it. But instead, we are going to just opt to camp this out, make sure we can force the 3-1 as early as possible, as the 3rd gen, what I know, probably won't be popping for another about 30-40 seconds. And that's about all the time that Kazoo has on this hook, which means we will be securing this 3-1 at 2 gens remaining. Also, this RNG is very unfortunate. Can we talk about it? This RNG is very unfortunate for a side dead future. We'll have that 3rd gen popping off for Kazoo's death. But I only have to wonder how much will Dead Future be able to last this, and will we be able to actually beat the win condition of a 2K9 stage? Or realistically, actually a 2K8 stage, because the 2K8 would be the tie, which would give Misery the win for this entire set. And Numi trying to go for a little bit of that low pro, trying to go for a low pro flick, trying to hit some clips up in this bitch, but will not quite find the clips that he's looking for, as we will almost have Tor getting sniped out while working on that gen. It looks like we will have Numi revving the chainsaw, but applying that M1 to Tor instead, as we will have Tor opting to kind of run to kind of the edge map and hugging this pallet real quick, and we'll see that pre-drop coming in. And possibly the curve on the Tor, as we will see Tor kind of running to that edge map, zoning themselves away, and that will be the down. And with that down, it looks like we will be opting to hook on that hook on pain res once again, and that will be hitting Slaughter's gen, unironically, and that will be Jinxie getting spotted immediately, already taking this chase We're Numi, and one thing about Jinxie, he plays Hillbilly, so surely he'll understand how to play against the Hillbilly as well. And with that immediate save being on the tour, looks like we'll have Jinxie actually going for the Power Stone. We'll be able to find it, which will buy him a little bit of distance to make sure that he will not be going down just yet. Takes into the trial, and we do have quite a few gens that are going to be a little bit closer to completion. Right now, we'll be fighting Tor. We'll be pre-dropping that pallet, make sure that they can buy as much distance and as much time as possible for the Survivor Squad to pop the last bit gens. And Tor being able to actually dodge that chainsaw and avoid getting down just yet. We will be seeing Tor busting on down here, as that will be the chainsaw hit coming in, and this will secure the 5th stage. But we can't use Tor for pain res once again, and that will be the last gen popping. And we may end up seeing the win condition actually being meant for the side of the future, and we will end up seeing that plague tiebreaker. However, there was a survivor that did just get interrupted off of that door, and wait, that will be a save on the Tor, and that will be Tor taking the endurance hit and being able to make their way onto the top side. But there is a survivor that will be Slaughter, being zoned out into the top side of the map. And Slaughter on the stealth. Slaughter on the stealth. Yes, sir. Slaughter on the stealth. Ooh! And that'll almost be Jinxie tasting the back of that chainsaw. But no, nothing quite yet. As we'll see another pair of scratch marks, that will be Tor being spotted, and Jinxie trying to play this as patiently as possible. That will be the no-hit hit, and that actually will end up securing the win for Misery. Should Tor go down as well and not be able to pick up the other 2 survivors, but that will be Slaughter getting picked up off the floor, and Numi will be opting to go for Slaughter with that speed boost to make sure that we can secure this down and possibly secure this 4K at all gens remaining, or all gens completed. Fuck. All gens completed. With the last shades being on the Tor, I can only imagine how should Tor be able to pull off a miracle play, we actually will be seeing this tiebreaker set, but that doesn't seem to be the case, as this speed boost would be a little bit too much, and that will secure the 4K at all gens remaining. And Numi doing a really good job on the Hillbilly Killer. I know, Numi. I know you want to go for those curves, but the last thing we have to do at this point is find out where Slaughter could be. And Slaughter did die at a part of the map where there shouldn't be really any reachable hooks, but it looks like Slaughter didn't stay there. No, we did. Slaughter is just very silent right now. That is crazy. Looks like we'll end up seeing that bleed out, and no matter what happens, we will see that win condition for Misery. So Misery will be taking this match 2-0, and I think the teams may have mutually agreed to the tiebreaker, or to play out the tiebreaker set, but we'll see what happens after we pick up Slaughter. Wait, Slaughter does have that flip-flop tenacity, though. Numi's not even close. It looks like we will see Slaughter bleeding out. I don't think Numi will be able to find Slaughter in time. And with that, that will be Misery taking this match point 2-0. And we will, and actually, I'm looking at the, hey, we will be seeing if this match chat, or with the match chat, if we will be continuing with the plague set. But we will see what happens after a little break. If we go to the, if we go to the ending screen, that means this match is over.